A transformative future is a future that is female. It is inclusive of women across various sectors and issues, bringing together an intergenerational movement of feminists, whom are young and older, to challenge and transform the women's rights agenda at national, regional, and global levels. This transformative future redefines leadership to include feminist values of reflexivity in everyday practice and an ethics of care in everyday politics. A future that looks at communication as essential, with sincere content and communication platforms that are accessible and available to the different women in the Asia-Pacific region. A future that carries a feminist power analysis with a politics of redistribution. A future that critically builds on the different waves of feminist practice across time, cultures, and contexts, taking into consideration the intersections of political influence, economic privilege, racial hierarchies, sexual norms, and social disparities. The idea of a future that is female and where leadership is collective and transformative was elevated in a dialogue of feminists from the Asia-Pacific region gathered in Miriam College, Philippines on January 28 to 29, 2019. Here they talked about the Beijing 25 review and how to use this review to build on the highly participatory process that the Beijing Platform for Action developed in 1995. The women in the group sought to strengthen women's movements in the region, particularly with the engagement of the younger generation. The gathering ushered in ideas for a future that is female and where leadership is collective and transformative. The women and organizations from the region are aware that there are real threats that include the rise of conservatism and authoritarian governments that are hostile to new thinking, who silence women's voices, who have used the existing pandemic as an opportunity to be more repressive and oppressive of freedoms. The gains made since Beijing are threatened. Over the last 25 years, there has been a shift in geopolitics, where the disparities are widening, increasing the vulnerabilities of women, LGBTQI+, and other marginalized communities. Yet, just as there are threats, there are opportunities that make a transformative agenda possible. Younger feminists are entering the debates and advocacy. They bring new voices, ideas, and new social movement partnerships that are challenging how society views women's issues and rights. The internet and social media allow for wider dissemination of information and can create opportunities for connecting and mobilizing. This has led to new forms of protest and public debates, thereby forming solidarity across the region. These new connections bring about new discussions, points of convergence, and analysis that repoliticize women's human rights. Feminist leadership in the Asia-Pacific region is evolving as a community of practice, ushering a future that is female.